Hey everybody, another episode of On the Paint Table. It's my weekly show where you see what I got done, what I'm working on, and what is coming up. So, combining 2 weeks into one, you will see that I worked on some Worldeaters for boarding actions. You already get to see one of those games. I worked on the League of Dungeoneers, a new indie dungeon crawl miniatures agnostic game in the spirit of the old Quest games, the 80s and 90s. And of course, a new Warcry warband to catch up on the Warcry two-player battle boxes with Mike. So let's see what got done and what is coming up. So here are my Hunters of Huanxi, my skink warband of chameleon skinks. They were all primed up with some Rust-Oleum charcoal gray, and then given a lovely airbrush of some, I think it's not Monument Hobbies, Imperial Hobbies, like blues and reds on, of course, the Terra Wings. Then I went and picked up some details with browns and beiges and golds and reds. I airbrushed the reds on the shields too there, obviously. And then washed it all with a little bit of Agrax Earthshade, picked out the details, and I was done. Bases are Sterland Mud Debris, and then dry brushed with a little bit of, I think, Warboss green, and then moot green at the edges to give it that nice jungly look. Tufts are all by Army Painter. And it was a warband in an afternoon. I do love painting skinks, and of course, this could very well be a unit, as they've started to spoil some new Seraphon models going forward too, so I might turn this into an army at some point. I got to play through the first 3 games of what's probably going to be a 5 or 6 game campaign against the Jade Obelisk, which are painted by Mike, and you'll see those games, of course. Continuing forward, I think you've already seen one of them already. The Warcry campaign system is great, and these guys are a challenge to say the least, but they're fun to paint. And of course, they look really sharp and bright, which is nice, a different sort of change of pace for what I've been painting normally. And I painted up some doors for the League of Dungeoneers. Now, the actual box game, like the retail copy, I think that was made, is all cardstock. You get cardstock monsters, cardstock building, what is it, doors and stuff like that, open, closed, and webbed. And they're a bit like the old Hero Quest doors, but the Kickstarter edition came with these lovely plastic doors, open and closed, so I painted up a big handful of them. You obviously don't need as many closed as open. I didn't paint all the ones that came in the box, but I painted enough that I should be able to have sizable adventures. I primed them that same charcoal, actually, sorry, it wasn't charcoal gray. I primed them this time with, oh, what's it called? I think it's like a copper bronze brown. It's not actually like a metallic color though. It's just like it's like a deep bronze or something like that is the name of it. It's not a Rust-Oleum paint. And then gave it like a 45-degree angle light gray, and then a nice gray dry brush on top of that, just to get all the stone done. And then went back in with contrast paints. I used Wildwood on all of the doors, and I used Fugan Orange on these guys right here, the flames. I picked out some metallics there with a little scale 75 silver, gave it a little brown wash, dry brushed the wood, and we were done. It's some highlights and stuff too on the flames, but nice sharp dungeon doors. They go really nicely with the absolute metric ton of cardstock you get in that League of Engineers box, and zhuzh it up. I painted a couple new warband members, an Elf Ranger. Gotta have an Elf Ranger. I wanted to do kind of like a classic Hero Quest thing. I did a rogue as well, this guy with his staff. These are more of my Reaper Bones Kickstarter minis I'm working through. I've just been really enjoying painting these Reaper Bones models just as like a side project. They're fun. You can take a little bit more time on them, give them some cool different color schemes, and just kind of, I don't know, stretch your legs painting wise. It's nice every now and again just do character models to sort of, I don't know, I think like relax. And these guys were both painted up just with like a black primer and then various colors. I actually used the, for all my character models, I was using the Army Painter Mega Paint set again, just to like, I haven't used it in a while, and Cash has been using it to paint with, and it was sitting out there, so I tried it out and had a nice mix of colors. Then I've got my Red Ghosts. I wanted to play some boarding action games with the Worldeaters. So I'm doing a trick that I do sometimes with projects. I will start them off as like a universal color and then slowly go back and pick away at them. So what I'm going to do is, I did these guys, I based them up, they look nice, they're all sort of like finished if I wanted to be like gore soaked, but I'm going to go back and actually do the details and add some more to them kind of one at a time and enjoy painting them. One of the things with getting stuff on the table to play games is you can do it in such a way that once you've got them on the table, you can go back then and kind of like keep doing details afterwards. And that's my plan for this World Eater army. I want to finish this boarding action army, but I didn't want to like just speed paint at all. I didn't want Hunters of Huanxi these guys. I wanted to give them like a nice paint job. So I painted them up. Prime them with that same, I don't think it's copper. It's like a charcoal gray, then a zenithal of the Mephiston red spray paint, and then I dry brush them with like a light red. And I'll go back now, and I just like some metal chipping on them. I based them all. I'll go back now and like do all the details and actually have like a nicely painted Worldeaters boarding action army. And the core of like an actual army too if I want to. I do have anger on, I can paint them up and then have like that and some Chaos Knights maybe and have that be an army. Who knows? We'll see. I like this Chaos Army. I like the Freak Brigade. I love the Jackals. I love the 8-bound. So we'll see how this army goes. And I actually really like my conversion too. I used the Chaos Lord from Dark Vengeance. I like bent his horns out to make them more corn. Right? Give him like the corn like helmet, like the mantis kind of horns. And I gave him a big axe from a Possessed. So I might actually do this guy as a well, he's my Master of Execution, but I might do him as like my like centerpiece model and go back and finish his cloak and finish everything up. So I'm really happy with this. I like doing this because then I can play games and not have to like kill myself and then do some like showcasey like slow paint jobs on them as I have time. If I ever had the time to do that, but I will do that with this army. Here's this big mamma jamma. Oh my God, I'd pick it up, but it weighs like 30 pounds of cardboard. You can see the GMG review that's already up for League of Dungeoneers. And I also got my hands, thank you very much to Mantic, on the new Dead Zone 2-player starter set that comes with Plague and Asterians, I think they're called, like the weird kind of like alien big samurai mans. So the box is full of buildings. You get a paper mat, you get building instructions, and you'll see my GMG review of the Forsaken, or the Force List in the rulebook as well. I think these are the same ones that, this is definitely the same one as the previous starter set, because it has the previous starter sets, like Vermine and CG, oh, I can't remember the name of the good guy army, the Coalition Forces, the Human Forces. So I'll do a review of these and we'll see what the, actually they go together, I think, don't they? Is that the way that goes? No, it almost looks like it does. That face kind of like looks like it goes together over here. Maybe it's the other way? Is it like this? Is it like that, maybe? Yes, it is. There we go. There we go. We can line them up. The artwork's all lined up now. Oh, it's almost there. There we go. There's the cover. I think this is actually, yeah, I think the same rulebook's the other one, but the models themselves have all changed out. So you've got, yeah, Asterians with like the big Asterian boss and all their like drones and robots, and then a whole bunch of Plague guys too. I actually have Plague Forces painted already. Like these models are actually relatively new compared to the ones I've already got painted. And then yeah, tokens, a cool like building set, and a paper mat to play on, as well as all your D8s for fighting and your order dice. So there we go, another 30-ish models, either started or finished. Actually finished this week. We could do all the doors on top of that, with the Hunters of Wan Chi and some more adventurers, and then a big 25 model project of a boarding action team started and like got into like tabletop ready, but we'll pick away at and do some nice finishing touches on over the next couple weeks. New projects on the go. And of course, you can check out my reviews as well for 2nd edition Dead Zone and the League of Dungeoneers. Big thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Till then, Ash. Have a good day. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look through the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My 2 kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continue to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Death Ray Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements like Last Days, Game of Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.